So I wanted to get your perspective on this vid that I seen. Pull it up. I kind of made a little clip of it, but I wanted to get your opinion on it. Press play. I want to hear from your perspective, right? Because I've been in DDG's shoes where, you know, cameraman reached out to me when I was doing music heavily. I put him on. We was sleeping here. We was editing videos together. And then one day, you know, Chris Brown, a couple reached out.
Damn, bro, it look kind of weird. You streaming and
Yo, bro, I'm not there, bro.
Be honest, you miss it?
Nah, bro, I low-key been getting, what is it, FOMO?
FOMO, yeah. I ain't gonna lie, bro. It be like that, bro.
I had to buy my ticket. I was like, damn.
Sorry, good, bro. You had 2 years of free tickets. You be alright.
That's all I'm saying. Like, bro, my head is still rendered to, like, you know, like, working with you. I was like, damn. So I was like, planning shit. And I was like, wait, I gotta see if I got time for it. I was like, wait, I got all the time?
Nah, bro. I did you a favor, man. Telling you.
Give him a fuck.
You be alright.
Before they put everything.
So my question is, how would you approach that situation on both sides? If you DDG, how do you feel? And if you, his name Johnny, and if you Johnny, how would you approach, you know, navigating, kind of going your way, your own way?
Well, first thing first, in the very beginning, before we even started working with each other, I feel like that's why interviews are very important, because you feel each other out. You see if you guys are going to be a good fit. You know what I mean? So at that point, it should have been established, like, okay, as DDG, I would have been like to Johnny, like, hey, I'm looking for a dedicated cameraman, someone who, like, is just going to take this job very serious and, like, just build. You know what I mean? First step. And then, you know, once I see the person kind of like maneuvering and doing things that was outside of their scope, outside of their scope of what we agreed upon originally, and then, you know, we start seeing that person wanting to do their own thing, that's when I would be like, hey, bro, I mean, you kind of signed up to be my cameraman, you know what I mean? So let me know what you trying to do now. Now we need to have another interview.
You need to have just a conversation about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna play both sides though, cause Johnny, his thing is he was with DDG for 2 years. Okay. So 2 years is a long time. You know, I didn't even get that.
It depends on what speculations they put up front. Now DDG could have been like, hey, in 2 years I need you for this long, and then we'll revisit if we want to continue further. Now we don't know if that's
now that sounds like a contract though.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing was so tricky about, you know, being in this game for so long. It's like I'm anti-contract. I'm kind of more so word of mouth. Like if you say something, I should be able to hold you to it, right? But then what you're saying is the contract is gonna basically say, look, in this amount of time, this got to be done. If it ain't done, then I can sue you and all that BS, right?
To find somebody else.
Yeah, we'll do. So all I'm saying is, it's like it's a double-edged sword, because if you Johnny, the moment you got around DDG, a whole different world opened up as far as access.
Just seeing everything behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, how to leverage all these different things, how much money people making. And I think a lot of times when you get access to that, that's when things just change instantly. And you know, I kind of see both sides. I see Johnny basically getting a lot of new opportunities being next to DDG. But then I understand DDG because I've been the bank before. I've been the person where, like, Johnny probably reached out to DDG, was like, man, I really want to work with you. I really want to be a cameraman. You know what I'm saying? And then you build a relationship. You see everywhere he goes. Now Johnny got even a name. People talk about, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? He got a brand now being next to this man. So it's like, it's a hard situation, because it's like, when you've been on DDG's side, you like, damn, bro, now you making me go back to square A, where I got to find a whole new cameraman, and you about to skate, and you kind of leaving me to dry. But then Johnny like, look, man, I gave you 2 years of my life. So I don't know, man. I think it's just hard, man. I think both of those situations is hard, but I know how that feel though. How DDG feel when you kind of put a nigga on and you see them go from nothing to something, and the nigga kind of just go his way. It's kind of like I don't know how to. That's why I'm asking your perspective because I don't know how would you even because niggas gotta grow. I'm not saying nigga can't never grow, but why we can't continue to grow together though?
Yeah, I feel like right now in the world we're in, everybody kind of feels like they can do it themselves. Kind of like, you know, that effect we be talking about, you know?
What effect?
The UTM effect, the go effect. You know what I mean? Which is basically we put people on, and the next thing you know, they like, oh, I can do this shit. You know, I can make this work. And the next thing you know, they go left and try to make it work, but the concept, you know what I mean? The seasoning ain't there. Like, you know, it's a little bit different.
The formula is not the same.
The formula is not the same. So I feel like it's definitely like a situation like that. But at the same time, I feel where you coming from. Like 2 years of just like dedication. And I feel like that's how business is sometimes.
Sometimes I'm at the point where I feel like what you said earlier is just why we can't have a conversation and just be like this. Johnny, I know you want to grow, but is it any way where I could pay you more? Or like what let's have a sit down and tell me why do you want to go out and do this?
Why? Why? Because he seen DDG doing all that he doing.
But then it's not authentic then. Because if you see somebody doing it and you only want to do it because that person want to do it, that's one thing. But if you see somebody making, let's just say when we first started, you was only making $1,500 a month, right? But now in this 2 years, you done helped me build the brand where shit. You like, bro, this right here is cool, but I ain't really making what I know I can make because I see what you making. Mm-hmm. At that point, I'm like, you right, Johnny, look, bro. Let me give you 5 bands a month, bro. Let me up you up to 5 to 7 bands.
Who knows? He could have did that, and Johnny was just like, nah, bro, I want to do
And at that point, and like I said, at that point, then it's like, at this, you got to go your way.
Yeah, his mind
is
made up. You got to go your
way, but I don't know, man. It's just a tough situation.
But I feel like
we see that a lot.
That's kind of how business is outside of this and just in any business. For example, like, you know what I mean? Businesses get contract with different people, and next thing you know, they like, we don't want this contract anymore. Like, we're going to dip out. And then now you got to go find a whole new contractor. Like, I think that's just the name of the business.
That is the name of the game. And this is how you, I guess,
adjust. But you definitely want to keep people informative. You want to keep them in the loop. Like, just springing it on somebody, now that's different. Like, hey, bro, I'm done. Like, I'm doing my own thing. Like, that's kind of rough. Like, that's unprofessional. But if you've been talking about this little by little by little and it's leading up to, you know, the person going left, then I think they did it in a mannerable way. But just like that, a cold, hard stop.
That's what it looked like it happened. It looked like, you know, it looked like it just, you know, and so it's interesting. But like you said, you hit on it now, that's business. Yeah. It's just about how you adjust.
That's business.
And
I feel like, too, like, DDG, he gonna be all right. He gonna find him another cameraman.
It's not even about that, though. It's the principle. Sometimes it don't even be, like, you gonna always find a different cameraman at this point. And, you know, you could put out a post, like, I'm looking for a cameraman. It's gonna get 1,000 DMs. Mm-hmm. But it's nothing like when you build something with somebody. Like him and Johnny, they built like
they had a good chemistry. Mm-hmm.
And I read a comment and somebody was like, bro, you never jump off a ship that's not sinking. Mm-hmm. And I've seen that throughout the years when like shit be going good, niggas jump off the ship, and then once a nigga see it ain't as easy, a nigga want to hop back on the ship, but it's like that ship already done sailed. So it's like, you got to think about that. You know what I'm saying? Just always think about that. Like, when shit is going good, that old saying my grandma said, if something's not broke, don't try to fix it. Yeah. And so, shout out to Johnny, though. Hopefully, everything, I think it's going to be straight regardless, but
I'm glad they still have, like, a kosher relationship. Like, it ain't no
we
bad
don't know
blood.
that. I don't think it's bad blood.
Because they were still talking to each other at the place.
Yeah, but it's like, at the end of the day, I know how DDG feel.
Yeah, you know, he a little salty. He a little hurt. Like, he a little bit. But I feel like, again, he probably feel like, shit, that's business. I'm sure that's not the first time that happened to him.
Yeah, but you got to realize, 2 years building a relationship with somebody for 2 years where they sleeping in your house. That's the thing that rubbed me the wrong way when it happened to me. Bro was in here. We was in here editing shit to 5 o'clock in the morning, eating out the refrigerator. It's like it's different because it's like it is business, but it becomes more than that because now you kicking in. My daughter coming down here.
It's almost like a family member, but then now they don't want to be your family member anymore.
That's how I feel. How I feel. And for a while, I'm like, damn, bro. So, yeah, it be like that, though. But it's love. You just got to keep going. It's a good combo, though, because I feel like a lot of people go through that in so many different ways, you know, and I think just that more of that story was like, man, a lot of times you put that battery in somebody back, you never know what they going to... Yeah. That's that battery, man. You know, so... That's a good one. So you come on, you know, give me what you got, man. I know you said you got something for me.
What do I got for you? Let me see. I did see something that was kind of interesting that we can kind of. Yeah, let's get into
this. This is real.
All right, let's see. Let's do maybe this one.
Shams, you kind of broke the internet last night again with what's going on with the Lakers and the majority stake sale with Jeannie Buss making that sale to Mark Walters and that group. I saw you put the valuation out at $10 billion.
10 billion.
I just want to break down how this is going to look and how much, I guess, ownership does the Buss family retain.
So right now, the Buss family will have about 17%, just over 15% of the minority share for a period of time. I'm not quite sure, but usually with deals like this, there's provisions in it where the majority owner, in this case Mark Walter, will eventually potentially buy that out. So we'll see when we get the fine print exactly what that looks like, DB. Jeannie Buss will stay on as the governor for a period of time after this sale. But listen, someone like Mark Walter, you buy this team for $10 billion.
10 billion.
Every time you say that shit,
$10 billion.
every time you say 10 billion.
I'm gonna say this, and I know it's like the highest value sale, whatever. That whole conversation. The Los Angeles Lakers, like in my eyes, brand, name, Los Angeles is obviously going to be more expensive regardless of how the city is viewed from everywhere else outside looking in. It's like 10 billion. That feels right, but for me, you know, you had Luka over there too. You have LeBron there. Obviously, crypto just signed a big time deal, even though they're not a company anymore. Like it feels like the Lakers. Young coach. It feels like the Lakers brand was going to be expensive regardless. At $10 billion,
you get Luka, and then months later you sell the team for $10 billion. I don't know what the correlation was there, but Jeannie Buss, my understanding.
Yeah, we were all talking about that. Yeah.
My understanding is Jeannie Buss really drove the sale in terms of, you know, getting this arrangement in place, bringing it to her siblings. She's got 5 other siblings, so her and 5 other siblings, they kind of vote and figure out, is this exactly where we want to go? And so they had the majority of the siblings voted to go through with this deal. It was unanimous, though, from my understanding. Okay. So there was at least one member of that sibling family, six siblings that voted no. But the majority vote was there. They make this sale, and I mean, everyone's been asking me why. Like, why? 10 billion reasons why. Like, at the end of the day, if the Lakers are going to sell this team, UD, like, they're going to do it.
Yeah, so, how you feel about this, man? 10 billion, like they said, is a lot. The Laker legacy, you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot. It's a lot.
I feel at this point, just watching the Lakers the last several years, the brand has been kind of shaky because Jeannie Buss, I'm not saying she's like not a great.
She's not her dad.
That's what I was saying. Like, her dad was a real estate guy. He was the guy that was going out making the deals, shaking the hands. And I feel like the daughter in that position that she's in right now, it just hasn't been the same since he's gone.
And that's to be expected. That's definitely to be expected. You can't expect it to be ran just like he was running it.
Yeah. So I think overall, they probably took a step back and seen, you know, the bigger picture that, dang, like, even though we have been riding off this Lakers brand and what our dad built, it's not the same. And for the right price, the fact that it's not the same, this is our exit plan. Because at this point, you might not get 10 billion if it keeps going downhill.
Yeah, if you keep waiting.
You know what I'm saying? Now the brand is being diluted little by little. Not saying the Lakers don't have a household name still, but you know, the thing about the Lakers is about, when you think about the Lakers, you think about championships and winning.
Yeah, exactly.
And
they ain't done that in a minute.
In a minute, since the bubble. And the bubble, a lot of people don't count the bubble championship.
Yeah.
So.
Nah, I don't. That was like, that season was just a whole, like, get better.
Yeah, that season was just, it's tough for the whole league.
That season was a practice.
Yeah,
that was a practice season.
Yeah, that was like, so I think, you know, overall they made a, you know.
You think they made a good decision?
As far as the family, yeah. As far as like just being a Lakers fan, you don't want to see that. You really want to see that. You really want to see them just make better decisions as far as the franchise and just bring the Lakers go up. But as far as like, you gotta always look at stuff both sides.
Yeah.
If you the family and you know this shit is kind of like little by little.
We all getting older. You know what I mean?
People don't even want to do the roles that they was probably assigned to do.
Half of the siblings ain't even showing up. They ain't even
want to do the job.
And
see, and when you see that side of it, then you understand.
Yeah, because it becomes a little stressful, I'm sure.
When you understand that it was roles that other people was playing and don't want to play those roles no more, and they just kind of showing up for the little check that they getting, then it's like, nah, we might as well just cash out.
Yeah.
And so, I think it was smart that she did hold, not to cut you off, that 17%, just so she could be still in the...
Yeah, not totally cut out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But,
like, I think that's that transition period where we sold, but yet I'm still going to slowly make decisions, and then eventually...
But not decisions.
Not decisions.
You have opinions in the room. At 17%,
that's
you
what
just...
Governing
at that, when you set anything under
20,
40, no, anything under 50% is like you don't have majority at stake of to make decisions, big decisions like that. 17 is like opinions. It's like, it's really, that 17 is like, I've been here for years, so if I see something, I can let you know how these things go.
Yeah. So I mean, eventually they'll start to phase the Bus family out, and then
it'll be a new regime.
It'll be solely somebody else's team. Yeah. So do you think when they get to that stage, what do you predict? Like, what do you see happening? Do you see a new legacy forming, or it's going to take a while, or like, what do you see after that transition?
I think between the next 3 to 5 years is going to be very vital for the Lakers, because Luka coming to the Lakers,
that was big.
That was big. It sparked something. It sparked like, okay, we got something. We can do something. But the Lakers, we so spoiled that phase can fizzle out fast. Like if it don't happen in the next 2 to 3 years, then it just would be like, all right, what are we doing again? And the one thing about it though, I feel like why they sold was, I said this a lot, is that things are expensive right now. And so, once again, her dad was the what? The hustler, right? The one who would go get the money and make the deals. So things are becoming so expensive that
ain't no wiggle room. Ain't no negotiating room.
You know, so if this man just bought the team for 10 billion, that means he got. If you buy something for 10 billion, that means
got that long money.
You feel me? And so I feel like at this point, you know, that's key. You know, if you want to compete at those levels, you gotta have a bag. It's really that simple.
Dang, so he gonna own the 2 LA teams. That's huge.
But people not even gonna see this part. She should have never really got it. She should have never. I think that's when things went downhill, is when she got rid of Magic.
Oh, I'm not aware though. What happened with Magic?
So Magic Johnson was basically a part of
the Lakers, right?
Yeah, he was helping with certain, and I guess Rob Pelinka, I think is his name. Him and Magic had gotten a little, situation. So Magic like, I ain't got, I'm out. Nigga, I ain't tripping off this job. And I feel like, once again, Magic was vital because Magic would go do what her dad would do, which is what? What is Magic known for at this point in his career?
Connecting, using his resources.
He go get the deals done.
Yeah.
And guess who got some stake in the Dodgers.
Magic Johnson. Yeah.
So that's what I'm so y'all. Y'all don't see how the chess piece. You know what I'm saying? I do this. I put the chess pieces together, man. So like,
hold on, they over there at the Dodger Stadium plotting. It's
not even a plot, but it's more so like, I see you ain't doing this right. I left and I left it in your hands, and so I'm gonna let my mans and us go spin this bag, and we gonna go try to.
Yeah, we gonna dangle something crazy over your head. 10 billion is crazy.
10 billion is crazy. That's like we gotta talk about this.
Even if you split that 5 ways, that's still crazy.
Yeah.
That's legacy money, like.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
Magic, that was a vital piece.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Magic probably got some in on it too. Like
he might be a hidden, stakeholder or whatever.
Yeah, but they ain't gonna say that because of what.
That's why I have to. You feel me? That's why I have to let y'all. Y'all ain't even seeing that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what happened for sure. So.
Okay, so yeah. With that being said, after that sale and transition, it's gonna be very interesting. I think it's gonna be a lot of changes. I don't know if they're for the good or for the bad, but I think some changes might definitely be needed.
They're gonna spin the bag.
They're already spinning the bag.
Yeah, but they gonna
to get who they want.
They're gonna spin the bag. It's gonna take about a year and a half, 2 years, but I know for sure Magic already has ideas. He just couldn't do what he wanted to do because of that situation over there.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Interesting, y'all. All right, well.
Get him the fuck out of here. This nigga looks stupid.
Wait, who that for? That's Jenny Buss?
And that's for that Jenny Buss? That's just for that whole Rob Pelinka, man. He came through and messed up everything, man.
That was the coach, right? Who was the Rob Pelinka?
I think that's if I'm not mistaken, I'm getting the name right, but that's like one of the, so Jeannie Buss brought him in to kind of be like the deal maker. I don't know his role, but I know he's like vital. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, we brought him in and he kind of fucked up the energy, So Magic like, all right, I'm gonna take the back seat. Yeah. Whole time Magic just won a championship with the Dodgers. Got a ring and all. You feel me?
He's trying to own up all them LA teams too. Now if they try to buy the Clippers.
So that's another thing too. So this is what I always say. What do I always say about the Clippers? The Clippers is on it. They coming, man.
They gonna be the ones next year.
Let me say why. Because Bomber spins the bag, man. And another thing I said, and when you drive throughout this city, and you go to these different parks, what do you see?
You see Clippers sponsorship statements on the backboards, on the jerseys.
When the last time you seen the Lakers do that? Cause guess what? It's tight. They got so the brand is already branded, but now the money ain't equivalent to the brand no more.
Yeah, they ain't got no budget for the marketing.
So Bomber, that's what I'm saying. So now with him coming in and spending $10 billion with this, now it's like, okay, it's actually kind of good for the city too. If you really think about it, it's kind of like, yeah, because now you got some niggas about to come in and it's about to really spin the bag to kind of get both teams at a level where it's like, because the Clippers is there.
Yeah.
They need some players and they need some, some chemistry, but Bomber spin that bag.
Yeah.
He gonna do that. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good look.
All right. Well, y'all, comment down below. You know what I mean? We want to know how y'all feel as well. You know what I mean? So drop some feedback, drop some comment, how y'all feel on these two topics. And let us know, is there anything trending out there that we need to get a perspective on? Yeah.
Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on your post notifications.
UnitedThruMusic.
Till next time. Let's get it.